All right, here we go. So first thing you're going to want to do is change that first screen, and I had a little bit of trouble here getting this right, as you'll see. I'll get it eventually, don't worry. And the rest of the video will be much smoother than this, I promise. And there it is. All right. So the first thing I do is go through the screens and I take out what we need to replace. So for example, here's the first hymn. I'm going to take all the screens of that hymn out except for the first one that just kind of becomes a placeholder for the next hymn that I'm going to put in. This all stays the same. Okay. Going through. And I'm going to do the same with the lessons. So I'm going to remove everything but one screen so that I can sort of keep the formatting when I enter the new lessons. Going on down, there's a gospel. Okay, so that's a screen from Sunday from my sermon that I'm going to take out. There's the hymn of the day. I'm going to take out all the screens except for the first one again. And then there's the last hymn, same thing. All the way back up to the top. Now I'm ready to add new content. Okay, the new content is going to come from the resource document that you can find on Sundays and Seasons that has all of the text, the liturgical text for that Sunday. So here I am copying the prayer of the day. You'll notice what I did there. When you copy and paste something, there's a little menu button that comes up, and you can click Keep Text Only, and it's gonna put it in the formatting that you have in your document. All right, so we're going to continue on with the lessons. So start with the heading, and you're going to see that copy thing again here, where I hit copy, then that little menu, Keep Text Only, and it's going to restore it. You'll notice that I'm centering everything on the screen. Okay, I grab about what I think is going to fit on the screen. Okay, copy it over. Okay, make it bigger. Now you'll notice that with the lessons, I don't do that keep text only thing, because when you do that with the lessons, those numbers, the verse numbers that are, I can't think of the word, but made smaller, maybe superimposed, they become like large text. So instead of hitting keep text only when you're doing the lessons, you can just highlight all the text and change the font size. So we'll just watch this again. Grab about as much text as you think can fit. Going over to there we go. Paste it, okay, and then resize it all together. Okay, and then because it's not fitting very well, I kind of reformat it a little bit here. And you're going to notice, see, there's space at the bottom of that box. I get rid of that space, kind of call it like trimming the fat, okay, and then I can center it. I never want to leave empty space in a text box. So that's probably more than what's going to fit in one, but that's okay. So 36, all right, got to reformat. If you ever have to tab something over, so right now I'm bringing it back to the left, right? But if you ever have to tab something over to the right, make sure you do that with the tab button and not with the space bar. That's really important. Sometimes people will like tap the space bar to get something over where you want it. I really don't prefer that. So make sure you're using the tab button for that. Okay, here comes the psalm. The psalm is a little bit trickier. Just because it comes with all these little marks Well, I'll show you in a minute here. Okay. You see I'm copying 4 verses to start here, but what I'm going to discover in this process is that really I only want 2 verses per screen. That allows me to separate the 2 verses and make it really easy for people to see. And again, here's the tricky thing about Psalms. You got to remove all those hash marks there. Those are used if you're going to sing or chant the psalm, but we don't do that. So resize it, and then of course you got to reformat it just like I did with the previous lesson. And don't worry, I'm not going to go through the entire psalm, just the first couple verses here. All right, so I'm probably going to cut what's at the bottom. Okay, cut that out, and then I'll finish this. So make that red, and see that little space at the bottom of the text box? Oh, did I not do it? Okay, I'm going to duplicate that slide, and then I'm going to copy and paste the next 2 verses. Now, if I'm good, then I went back and I cut the fat out of that previous one. Let's see if I remember that. So make that red, and then I'll go down. Okay, see that? Oh, I can't trim the fat because there's spaces down there, so I got to get rid of those spaces. Now I can center it perfectly. Bam. Oh, and there I go. And bam, just like that. So 2 verses per screen. Okay, I'm going to stop there. All right, next one. This is where I'm going to show you how to get a hymn. Okay, so I just clicked on music at the top of the Sundays and Seasons. You can search for the hymn that you're looking for. Okay, and then when you find it, you'll notice that the hymn that I searched for, it doesn't have a download option. Some don't based on copyright, but so I chose another one, downloaded it. Okay, then you open it up and click on the one that says words. Okay, then you get the text, and then you can copy and paste that text. Now there's going to be some that don't, I think that's the end of the video. There's going to be some hymns that are not, that can't be found in Sundays and Seasons. And so in that case, you might need to go find an old set of screens, which I don't know if you have access to old sets of screens or not, or you might just have to type them in. If you ever have trouble finding one, let me know, and I can definitely find it for you. Yeah, I think that's all that needs to be said about that. So take this video and then, try to do it yourself with the screens for the 27th and see how that goes, and we'll check in. Thanks, Joanne.